Insights with Terri Coots, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Coots. Here's Terri.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you when you're listening to this. I hope you have a wonderful day. This is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Thank you for joining me to explore together the week of June the 15th through the 22nd, 2025. There is so much going on. It's hard so many times to know when and where to start. But we're going to start with the planets, which is what we normally do. So we're still in that Gemini energy, and that is one that lets us communicate, lets us process, helps us to understand things. What did this mean? How does this affect me? How do I affect others? All of this energy that allows for us to take in the environment and try to make sense out of it so that we can maybe become better for having experienced that event or help others to experience it in a much different way. So it's an energy field that allows for us to grow, to learn, to be more tomorrow than we were today, to maybe behave better, to think better, to understand better tomorrow, tonight, than this morning, than today. So it's a wonderful, wonderful energy. And I have talked to you about the psychic energy that's surrounding us right now, allowing and trying to nudge us into developing that unseen, that which is not seen, that which cannot be touched, that which has to kind of be accepted or with respect and curiosity learned about. Now that is the Cancer energy, and that is in Mercury, which is the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate. And that Cancer energy, the ruling planet, is the moon, which is also a very psychic planet. So we got that really strong energy field. And then Venus, the planet of love and beauty, attraction, that's in Taurus. So we will be attracted to security, to safety, to things that feel something that's stable. So that's an energy field that will be attractive to us, and if we own that stable energy, that will be attractive to other people in relationships or in any kind of event. And Mars, the planet of drive, our passion, that's still in Leo. Now on the 18th of this week, that is going to go to Virgo. Now, Leo is a fire energy, so there was passion, there was impulse, there was aggressive. Now with the Virgo energy, it's not a fire sign, it's an earth sign. So that Virgo energy will allow a little bit more balance, a little bit more availability of using different elements. Earth element is wind, fire, all of it. Wind, fire, water, all of it. Whereas with fire, it's just fire. Now, the challenge here, kids, as we move into that, Virgo's very hard on worry, very hard on wanting things good, done well, perfect. So really be careful that you don't strive for perfection or you don't experience frustration because it's not perfect, or it might make you procrastinate and not want to get started because it won't be perfect. So just kind of bear that in mind if you can, because that could be something that inhibits us from moving forward if we're not careful. But it's a great energy for cleaning things up, for getting things done, for getting at the little projects that you were afraid to tackle because they were too big. So it's a good energy for sorting things out, organizing, getting things done, and being grounded, being very, very grounded. The number that was given to us for this week is the number 3. And number 3, when we compare it with where the planets are right now, is being a little bit more mentally alert. I don't know about you, but I can sure use that, let me tell you. So being a little bit more in the moment, remembering where you put your phone down and not finding it on a railroad tie someplace in the barn. Just having more of an ability to find the words that you want, the words that you need, the thoughts, the ability to figure things out if you're trying to put the tire on the tractor. So this mental alertness can be helped or harmed by what we eat, how much sleep we get, how distracted we allow ourselves to be. Virgo energy really likes to be focused, so that energy likes to be more in a concentrated type of energy field where we can concentrate on something and get it done. Mental focus, mental concentration. So that mental alertness can come from being focused on something, but it also migrates into a creative mind, which is nice because there's things that we like to create, maybe that beautiful garden or fixing some landscaping up. Something that we'd like to do, we can just sit there with a cup of tea for a few minutes and visualize it. And this energy is being offered to us so that we can become creative and maybe a little bit original. So it lends itself to a good imagination, that number 3 with where the planets are. Boredom is not going to be anybody's friend here. So if you live a very quiet life with no social interactions or no projects or nothing to stimulate you, no books to look forward to, no friends that recommend books, and I'm so fortunate. I have good friends that recommend good books. Boredom won't feel good. So that could slide into a little bit of depression. It's an energy field that contributes to cooperating with other people. So this might be the time when you want to get the neighbors together and say, what would we like to do about the park? Or what would we like to do about fixing this dog park up? So it allows for charming and witty and cooperating with other people. We've got to be careful with that Virgo energy and the number 3 being critical of others. That's gossip, I think they call it. So we have to be careful. We have to learn how to really get those diplomatic skills out and get them to toe the mark. So there's a need to work freely, without restraint with this kind of an energy. Like working in pairs, as long as it's a good working arrangement. Virgo does not like being taken advantage of. They'll do most of the work, but they don't want the credit necessarily, but they do want it fair. So fair is really important. So it's also a time which I find which is true for me because I lean towards Virgo energy. Oftentimes I get more done under stress. So if I have a timeline, let's say my clients are going to come in 20 minutes and I've got 3 hours of things to do, I can get so much done. It amazes me. So working under stress or working under a timeline will work better for you this week. Now you have to handle the stress a little differently. You can't let it throw you over the cliff. You have to know how to handle it in a wellness type of way. So this activates that mental energy, gets you going. And then we see ourselves succeeding very quickly because we got this done, we got this done, we got this done, we got this done. It was only 10 minutes. I thought it was going to take all day. So this is awesome. So then that lends itself to more ambition and to open ourselves up a little bit more and be a little bit more inventive and a little bit more imaginative in solving some of the problems, some of the things that we have to do. Now, the weakness of where the planets are with number 3 can be restlessness. So if we don't have a goal or we don't have a project, we can find ourselves kind of roaming. You know, that feeling of you're just walking back and forth, but you're not getting anything done. And be careful of being distracted, an ability to be distracted, I should say. So I find some of my dogs, I have a little pup, a little Australian Kelpie pup. She's a little bit over a year. Her name is Little Bean. And she's very easily distracted. So for me to get her to work, I can only work her in maybe 3 to 5 minute sequences. She's good for about that time, and after that, poof, her mind is gone. And I have a cattle dog that's very much like that. Extremely obedient dog, and that's not normal for my cattle dogs. I teach them to be obedient in a calm and positive way, but it isn't their normal. It's not their normal attitude, but I make it worth their while, of course. So this particular cattle dog finds it very difficult to not be distracted. It takes quite a bit of effort, mental effort on my part to get into his mind so that I can drag his mind towards me so that we can communicate and get things done together. Because his mind is off looking at the hawk or looking at the vulture flying over or the butterfly that just went by. All of those things just really, really turn his crank. Excuse me. Now, the beginning of the week, we may have a issue if you are vulnerable with your lower limbs, the feet, the toes, that pineal gland, because of the psychic energy of Mercury in Cancer, and the moon is going to be in Cancer, is going to be in Pisces, sorry, and that's a very psychic energy. So we're doubling up on some of the psychic energy, and I would like to have that as a segue into the last two episodes. We have been talking about mental transference of thoughts and images, telepathy, whatever word you want to use on it, but it's how our minds work, how we can transfer thoughts or images to animals, to people, and it's a thing. It's not something that is not. I've done it many times. I've had it done to me many times, and we're just sharing. This is the third episode in that. We're just sharing some common things that happen that will allow us to exercise that little muscle or not, depending on whether you want to or not. So thought is a transmitting of an electromagnetic field. So our minds emit electromagnetic pulses that work our bodies, but it is also measurable in EKGs and EEGs. And so that thought reverberates, as minute as it is, out in the universe. And that contributes to what I'm sure you're all aware of, is the law of attraction. You get what you think. And I would like to get into that, but I want to do the telepathy first, and then we're going to be working with the law of attraction and how our thoughts will send messages out there and we get what we think, power of visualization. It isn't as mundane or benign as I'm making it, but it absolutely is viable. So we have to be really conscious of what we're thinking, because we will get what we think. So we have to be watching that. Every thought we have has a certain hertz, and that vibration, that hertz, goes out into the universe and it stays there forever. Now, birds are very sensitive to that. I can sit there and have energy impulses and send them to my bird. So for instance, if I have a client that comes in, or a friend or a relative, and they are a calm person, and they come in and they have a calm, natural energy, my birds will be very calm. But if somebody comes in, or even on the phone, they can feel it on the phone, even on the phone, if there's an excitement or an urgency or a fear or an energy that's kerfluffled, my birds will start screaming. Just when you don't want them to, they start up, because they're very sensitive to it. The dogs are sensitive to it too, but not quite as sensitive as the birds are. So everything in nature is subject to what we experience ourselves as humans, and we are subject to what they experience. So basically, we are all a product, really, of each other. So I want you to remember this week that thought is energy, that it is transmissible. There's a huge power in thought. So I want you to do some exercises this week, if you can. Maybe before you go to bed, try to direct your dreams. We do that by maybe having some common theme. So if I want to direct my dream, maybe I want to find how I would create a new chicken coop. I'd be thinking of the chicken coop, thinking of how the chickens work around the farm, what would be in their best interest, how could they get in and out. And then as I'm going just into that sleep period, it's lucid dreaming, all these other thoughts start to come in on, oh, this ramp would be good if it was this way. Now the trick is trying to pull it back when you wake up in the morning. I know I had it. I know it sounded reasonable, but what was that? Now, some people are able to get up and write it down and then go back to sleep. That hasn't been a gift that I have. If I get up and write it down, I am not going back to sleep. So then we may have to spend a couple of moments through the day in a quiet time. Some people call it meditation. Just maybe stilling your mind and letting your mind calmly drift back to that place that you had that idea or that thought, and it can come through. It takes a little bit of practice. I'm going to give you homework. There's a couple of books that are really, I find, very good. One is called The Elephant Whisperer, and that is I find it's a page turner. I found that the author was not dramatic. He was very methodical and very pragmatic in how he explained how he interacted with this herd of wild elephants. Some of the stories are, well, because I'm an animal person, I found it very fascinating. But he also explained the amazing connection he had mentally and psychically with these elephants. And believe me, I know when something's not true. And that is true. How he explained it was very true, very down to earth, very real. So it might be something that you'd like to explore. And then if you get a chance, there's another book called Dogs That Know When Their Owners Are Coming Home. And that is a true story. It's by Dr. Sheldridge. And that is a true story. My husband used to say that my dogs would start to kick up about 15 to 20 minutes before I came home. Now, it was because I was thinking of them. I was not too far from home, and I'm thinking about when I get home, I'm going to let the dogs out, we're going to go feed the horses, and then we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. So in my mind, I'm thinking of all the things I'm going to do with the dogs and the horses. They catch that, and I know I'm thinking about them, and they're thinking about me now that everybody's insane. Excuse me. So it's an energy field that is real. It is real. And I've worked with the dogs in that way. So that's going to be your homework. The Elephant Whisperer, and this is about the African reservation, the animal reservation of Thula Thula. It's Elephant Whisperer. And Dogs That Know When Their Owners Are Coming Home. If you're interested in developing that psychic energy field, this is the way you might find helps you, because it's down to earth and it's pragmatic and it is real. And do some experimenting on being quiet in your mind and letting that energy field take you where it needs to go. Now, what we are being given this week is a lot of love if we accept it. So it's universal love, not necessarily from people, but from the universe, which is all love. That's the strongest force in the universe, is love. And they want us to not be so combative and look at when we become frustrated or aggressive and try to take mentally that energy, smooth it out, project it, and take it back to that wonderful vibration of love, the celebration of love, and that force. Now, one of the things that they're offering us if you do the meditation is some people are looking for, what was I born to do? What is my soul's purpose? What is my talent? That is what the meditation, the lucid dreaming, you're connecting with the universe, the power of positive thinking, the law of attraction. If you're interested in looking at what you were bred to do, what the universe wants you to accomplish in your lifetime, this is the time to start building the foundation of that. So go out and try to find that. If you can, spend a few minutes. Don't blow a fuse, just enjoy. Next week, I would like to talk a little bit more about the same thing, which is telepathy, about the vibration, how love vibrates, that vibration of love, how animals start working with it on us, because I think sometimes we're manipulated by our animals, how to practice it. So we're going to work on all of that. We're just going to keep going. Alrighty? Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me on this week, the week of June the 15th through the 22nd, 2025. And I would like to thank Charlie O'Brien for his contributing to this podcast in his way, which is he puts us on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, on Amazon, SoundCloud, YouTube, gives me the link, and then I put it on Facebook. So thank you very much. Share it too, people. We need to get together and work together and get some of this vibration in a good energy. Let's help each other. If you need a reading for yourself, my number, you can text or call, 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. And if you need any help with your dogs, I'd be happy to do that. And we will be starting Fun on the Farm for the dogs next week. If you want to jump in, you are absolutely welcome. There'll be standalone programs where we get your dog exercised, We focus on obedience while we're having fun with the games and getting the dogs to do things that is fun, but we're also they're learning to concentrate, they're learning to listen to you. All of that is fun, and they're tired little munchkins when they go home. So are you. And don't be afraid to tune into the streaming Big 8, the number 8, radio.com. That's Charlie O'Brien's station. And you can listen and make yourself happy by listening to the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s music, and you can hear his voice. It's awesome. Alrighty, thanks again, everybody, for your time. Talk to you next week. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy and take care of each other. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.